Alright, everybody. Welcome back to Mass Effect Andromeda. Let me go ahead and pause for a moment to talk a little bit. There's a couple things I want to let you guys know about. If you've been following and wondering why there was kind of a delay in this video following the last one, it was partly because there was an announcement from EA that said we are going to be getting rid of the Origin app and making the EA app the new permanent thing. Now, I actually already talked about this whole thing in a separate video, because it was regarding both this playthrough as well as the playthrough for Dragon Age Inquisition. And I was basically waiting and waiting to see whether or not something was going to happen to the Origin app, and all these months later, it's still here, and it's still working fine for me. So, now the reason why this was an issue was because I was concerned, because I had tested it out with the two different launchers, and I seemed to have issues and problems with the mods when it came to trying to run it through EA, the EA app, instead of Origin. But it looks like the Origin app is still here, and if it's still here, I can still get to work, in which case I can avoid issues. So we'll just have to wait and see. I did have to update the Frosty mod manager, since there was an update and some of the mods were requiring an update to that version of the mod manager, and I basically had to try and redo and make sure that all the mods that I had set up were activated and enabled correctly. And, well, at the moment it does seem like that is the case. However, something could also still happen. Like you can see at the top, to see whether or not the mods are working right, you can see the item limit is still at max up there, so that's a good sign that the mods are still working fine. The other thing, though, it's weird. Now, I got a nice new modder from my dad for Christmas, and he's going to get my old one that I was using. But what's weird is that when I tried to boot this up and get this set up, and I usually record in full screen, I don't have a separate thing. Like, if I ever get to streaming, I'm sure I'll have to have it run in windowed, but sometimes also it just seems to have certain things that are meant to be run or recorded in full screen. And it was doing this weird thing with the game on my modder where, like, the color was just completely off. It was weird. But once I switched to windowed, like, borderless, which is what you're seeing right now, this is windowed borderless, it's completely fine. Now, it wasn't giving me this issue when I ran it in full screen on the previous monitor, but it did so on this one. Now, this is a bigger 32-inch monitor, which allows me to run the game at a higher resolution. In case you are curious, the resolution that I can run it at, it may not actually show it here. It's still showing if it's full screen, and that may be why. The full screen resolution, it wouldn't let me actually change what the full screen resolution is. But basically, the resolution you can see here is going to be the 2560 by 1440, which is now the highest I can get on this new 32-inch monitor. And there's the some of the specs. I still need to upgrade my graphics card, as you can probably guess. That's probably why I can't get this game to run all that well, because I need a better graphics card. But even so, even with a better graphics card, let's just say that even on top-of-the-line machines, this game does not still run well. And that is because, of course, this game was not very well optimized. I remember watching streams and videos of people that were trying this game when it launched, and they were having awful issues trying to get it to run on really high-quality machines and towers. So that's when you know it's the game's fault and the developer's fault for not optimizing it all that well, probably to make it more viable on consoles than PC. Yeah, fortunately, some people have tried to fix these issues. So anyway, before we head to Havarl, let's go around to see if there's any more extra conversations that we can strike up with people. We'll start with Lexi, since she's right here.
Feeling okay?
Although I'm wondering about the quality of her face at the moment there.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
One hell of a trip this is turning out to be. Hostiles, ruined worlds, no home in sight. Everyone's getting toasty. There was a 2-hour argument yesterday and no one even knew how it started.
That's not good.
Luckily, I have the perfect way for people to unwind. Movie night.
Taking a breather for a good movie? I could get behind that.
Best part is, it doesn't need to be good. Still get mileage out of the bad ones. It's worth it to jumpstart everyone's pioneer spirit and all that. The Tempest database is pretty dry. Could you download a movie library from Nexus Ops to see what I've got to work with?
If I have time.
Thanks. Everyone will appreciate it.
This is going to be an ongoing quest line.
Yes? What's your story, Jal? Tell me about yourself.
Why?
Well, why wouldn't you? You hiding something?
Maybe. That would only make sense.
I was born on Earth, third planet of the Sol system in the Milky Way.
That's interesting. Thank you. That's enough. Until we've established a better trust with each other.
Alright, we'll do the missions that you gave us before we have some chats. I get it.
Bridges 4, engine rooms aft, med bay starboard.
Smart stuff up front, powers and back.
Oh, by the way, you may notice some new appearances for my weapons and armor. I found a couple more mods I decided to enable that give them a more kind of shiny, metallic, even golden look, which is why we also swapped up the golden look for the Nomad over there.
I did not like the look of that Archon. Maybe the Angara will let me pitch a 10 on Aya for the duration.
You'd let a bone-faced blowhard like that deprive you of my scintillating company?
That blowhard hates you now. If you're not careful, he might deprive me of your company. All right. Next time, keep him on the line. I might have something to say.
Thanks for chatting. We'll talk again later.
You know it.
There you are. Gotcha.
Am I interrupting?
Nope. I go the way the wind blows. You're here now, so you're the wind. Just dealing with some scourge issues. That Archon fella tried to warn you not to joyride into it, but you were just la la la. It was an act first, think later move. I respect it. Well, more like I resemble it. Hey, you play poker?
Come again?
Poker. Card game with bluffing, betting. It's an age-old measuring stick of a person's character, fortitude, guts. Used to think maybe it was my calling. Turns out I'm just good at it. Never lost heads up. We should play sometime.
Willing to put your streak on the line?
Huh. I'll risk it. Next time we port up and you're in the mood, I'm always in the mood. The Angara were super curious about the ship. A few were pretty bold. Asked me questions.
What do you make of them?
They know their shit. Quick-minded, sharp. They'll make good allies.
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
That Archon. Arrogant son of a bitch. Maybe that's redundant for a Ket.
He's also the first Ked who bothered to talk to us. That's useful intel.
True. They can communicate. They just prefer to open fire. So, what else is new?
How's the search for the Asari Ark going?
Nothing new. Let's stay optimistic.
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
I'll have to do a little bit walking around to see if I can find her.
your take on the Angara, old man?
Strong, honorable survivors. Been a while since I encountered a new friendly species. Last time was the humans.
Oh yeah, you lived through first contact with them, didn't you?
If I recall, my exact words were, "They're bold for being so squishy, do they know they're mostly water?"
Harsh. Don't let Ryder hear you.
I'm standing right here.
I always have time for you.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
I've seen a lot of shit in my life, but that vault certainly was a first. Things are gonna be interesting with you around, kid.
Doesn't matter what life throws at me. It's what I make of it, right?
You keep that going, you just might live as long as I have. Minus 0 at the end.
Now that we've been digging, it's clear you were right about Spender.
Guy like that'll do anything to get ahead. Just wonder how far he went.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
And now we will check in on our 2 cockpit friends over here.
Sam's been compiling our star charts. The other pilots on the Nexus will have plenty of new trails to follow.
You can drop the charts off the next time we're there.
Funny. A few months ago, that station was like a war zone. Flying was my only way to escape the chaos. Now it's become a haven, just as it was meant to be.
Every good space station needs a big lake. Maybe some fountains.
Indeed. Even non-amphibians need a little water. Regardless, the worst threat to the whole initiative is still that monstrosity.
You mean the Scourge?
I still see it crippling the Nexus in my memories. I had to train other pilots in hazardous flight techniques just to look for food and water. It's a cage that eats good ships and good people. Helios won't be home so long as it's a threat.
It's a huge space anomaly. It's not going away in anyone's lifetime.
If we could somehow neutralize it, or if our ships had defenses against it. Still, that's what we do, isn't it? Find a way where there is none. Just see the Nexus for proof of that.
That reminds me, I've been watching some more episodes of Star Trek, the original series, and let's just say they have actually name-dropped the galaxy Andromeda in a few episodes, which made me do a double take when I heard them say, "We are from the galaxy Andromeda." I was like, wait, what? What? And I'm thinking, is that where the inspiration for this game came from? All those episodes in Star Trek, the original series? Is that really how that came about?
We might have a problem. I was running some numbers, mass balances and such. The Tempest is carrying about 70 kilos of extra mass. I think something's aboard that doesn't belong.
70 kilos is enough mass for another person.
Our internal sensors aren't getting anything, but they're not as powerful as a Pathfinder's scanner. Can you take a look?
All right. I'll look around the ship and see what I can find.
No new messages. Hold on. Now, I actually think I know exactly where to look for this. If my memory on this is correct. Whoops. Wrong button.
Got it. Suvi, that extra mass is behind the storage room bulkhead.
Behind it?
It looks like a construction mech welded right into the hull.
Scanning the parts has activated an audio log.
I think I know what that's about, Ryder. Come up to the bridge.
Alright, I'm on my way.
Again. I'll lend you 30 if you pay me back by tomorrow.
Done. Thank you, Subi.
Someday I'll find out why you're always strapped for credits.
Those parts you found welded in the storage room. I recognize them.
From where?
They belong to the ship's lead designer, Lucille Diawara. She broke her back during construction. But Lucille wouldn't abandon her ship. She converted a construction mech into a rig she could wear. She must have welded it into the hull. Her artist's signature.
Not even a broken back could stop her dream.
Sam, didn't you find an audio log with Lucille's rig? Can you play it?
Sam found my construction gear then. Well done. One of you Pathfinders got the Tempest. Mason Barrow, Zevin Reka, Matriarch Ishara, Alec Ryder. You were the best of us.
Dad's gone. Makes you wonder how many other Pathfinders made it.
We'll find out. It's what you do.
Take care of my ship and each other. Whatever is in Andromeda, you're the Milky Way to them. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
I never thought I'd hear Lucille's voice again.
She really cared about the Pathfinders. Enough to give them her rig. For luck.
Lucille made it a part of the Tempest. Let's keep it that way.
I'll see to it, Ryder.
Thanks. Now let's go make her proud.
Rather touching, isn't it? Alright. Actually, hold on a second. We need to talk to Subi again.
What's going on?
Never mind.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good.
Alright, now let's go ahead and...
Anomaly detected. Probes launched.
It's like, oh yeah, we have this system to explore. Alright, so we'll go ahead and clear this system, and then we'll head to Alvarl.
Anomaly on sensors. Probe away. Satellite detected. Anomaly on sensors. Deploying probe. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
Alright. So you'll see that a few more systems opened up here. We are going to go ahead and make our way towards Havarl. And we'll temporarily have... well, not temporarily, because Jal is going to be with us for a little while. So I can't... you know, it's one of those where it's like...
ancestors came from this system. From Havar. It looks so small from here.
I'm picking up something. Getting a scan.
A comet. Wow. Uh-oh. Wonder if I'm starting to have some microphone issues. If so, we may have to go ahead and cut this short and just go to Havarl in the next part. Start to hear a little bit of cracking.
Anomaly on sensors.
And it can gradually get worse as the video continues. So in that case, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and finish up exploring the other systems, and then we will head to Havarl in the next part. I apologize for the confusion here, but, you know, at least I got to show you the little quest about, you know, the designer leaving a part of herself with the ship she helped make, basically, before she probably had to, you know, part with it. So stay tuned.